Hi, welcome back. Hi, my name is Lulu, and I checked some books out from the Madrid library. Last week I went to one of Madrid's public libraries. They have like several, it's like kind of like a chain restaurant but for libraries, which is really interesting. With one card you can check out from several different of the public libraries in Spain. So I checked out 5 books. The max you could check out is 6, and you have a month to read the books that you check out. I don't really know if you can recheck books out, which I thought was interesting. Oh, I forgot to say my name. Hi, my name is Lulu, and I checked some books out from the Madrid library. So I thought I would go over which books I checked out really quick. The first book I checked out is El Sapo es un príncipe y viceversa by José Ovejero. I actually started this a while ago, and it's like a collection of short stories. So I read the first one and it's pretty interesting. I think it's got to do with like, you know, life lessons and stuff. So far it's interesting. I picked this book out because it was short, so that'll probably be the only book I'll read in this video because I am in the middle of midterms, so I'm really busy and stressed about that. So the next book I picked out is El saludo en las brujas by Emilia Pardo Bazán. Emilia Pardo Bazán is a really popular Spanish author. I'm learning about her in my class actually. She brought realism into Spain, which I think it started in France. I don't remember. And the reason I picked this book out is for 2 reasons. It's because it's by Emilia Pardo Bazán, which we're learning about her in my Spanish literature class, and also because I read another one of her works when I was, before coming here, in another Spanish literature class. So, and because it has witches, which is giving like, you know, Halloween core. The third book I picked out is Voces, amanecer y otros relatos by Clara Pastor. This I think is like another series of like short stories. I picked it out because it was short. I think I want to be reading short books right now because I'm scared I can't really keep up with them, and I think it's also a bunch of short stories in one. Yeah, I don't know if I think she might be from Massachusetts. I don't know. I'll do some more research on these authors. So, fourth book I got is Ella y el Faro by Nina Melero. I picked this book out because, why did I pick it out? Oh, because it was short. I don't really know what it's about. And she also was a finalist in the, I can't really read a Roman numeral that long, LXXII edition del Premio Nadal de Novela. So she was a finalist in like an award for a book. So I was like, might as well try to read that. And then lastly, I picked out Un paso al frente by Gonzalo Segura de Oro-Pulido. And this is like a politics type book. It's one of the thicker ends. I probably won't read this like at all. But the only reason I checked this out is because we both have the same last name. So guilty as charged. Like, how often do you find authors with your same last name? So I'm really excited about that. But I think it's about war. Based off what I understand, the war in Afghanistan. El autor militar con participación en Afghanistan. So the author participated in the war with Afghanistan. In Afghanistan. And has 12 years of experience. Pretty much, yeah, so this one looks like a heavier book, and I don't think I will be able to understand it, but I just wanted to check a book out with an author that has the same last name as me. So this is my collection, and the only book I've started so far is the bottom one, que es El Sapo es un príncipe y viceversa. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Hi, so I started reading El Sapo. El Sapo es un príncipe y viceversa by José Ovejero. I started reading this a while ago. I started with like the first short story because it's a series of short stories. I read that in a park kind of far from where I live actually. It was really nice. It was super active. There was a lot going on. Oh! And my initial plan for this video was actually to go through and read the short stories. I didn't know it was a series of short stories, but once I figured it out, I was, oh, that's perfect. I can do a short story in a different park and go through it that way. However, I think this would be funny to look back on. That's why I'm telling it. Along the way, I started feeling really sick. And I had midterms coming up, so this wasn't my top priority, but I still wanted to read it. But then I started feeling really sick. My head hurt really bad, it wouldn't go away, and my stomach hurt, and I was like that for like 2 days, and it just kept getting worse. I went to the urgent care on Sunday night, and then they said I had like something viral. I woke up on Monday and I was like feeling worse, so I ended up going again to that same hospital. I was like, hey, I came yesterday, I'm the same person, feeling worse. Turns out I had fever, like things were just looking not so good for me. They diagnosed me with appendicitis. Yeah, I had appendicitis. So they took me in to their little hospital wing, yippee, and they gave me surgery the next morning. Which is crazy because I was like, man, first I got COVID, now I got surgery for appendicitis, so I won't be leaving my heart in Spain, but I will be leaving my appendix, so that's exciting. Anyway, so I might just try finishing this book while I'm stuck at home recovering. I can still walk. I can do a lot of normal activities. Not gonna lie, it just kind of hurts. I got the 3-incision surgery. So it's honestly not very invasive. It wasn't bad at all. I was able to stand up the same day they gave me the surgery. So low-key, props to the whole surgery process. It was super quick and less than 30 minutes the surgery. That was crazy to me. And I'm glad I'm okay, and I'm glad I had the support that I did, because I definitely would not have had such a good experience without the support, so I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, I wanted to have that in case I wanted to look back on it. A couple of sad things though. I had a Portugal trip planned. Like, I would be in Portugal right now, but I'm not, because I don't think I'm ready to go for a long distance like that and be able to walk for hours and hours. I could walk the block, but I could barely do that, and my pants are too tight, so I need to figure that out. And what happens. I'm not complaining. It just happened. At this point, I like go with the flow. Whatever happens, it's just whatever I could do about it. But as for the book, I think that I'm struggling with the comprehension. I can read the words. I don't know what they mean. I don't really know what the big picture is. Like, I can understand the phrase, but the short story that I just finished is called El Señor Cocodrilo y la Niña Negra, which is the man crocodile pretty much and the black girl. And it's about this crocodile that is trying to get this girl to go with him somewhere, and he's like, I can adorn you with flowers, I can make it really nice. And she seems super into it for a second. But then the bird that cleans the crocodile's teeth is like, don't go. He takes these girls and they never come back. So the girl isn't easily fooled and she doesn't go with him. That was like pretty much the gist of what I understood of the story. Obviously, like, that's a huge spoiler. I just told you everything that I understood from the story. There's a lot more to it, but I couldn't really tell you the details. There seemed to be like a lot of singing, a lot of like kind of poetry in the book, but I don't really understand it. So I think next is El Ladrón y el Emperador, which is a Chinese story apparently. So I don't know if this is like from stories from all over the world or what. I'm gonna keep reading because I don't really have much better to do. Okay, I know this is kind of like a weird angle, but I'm like sitting in my bed. I finished En Sapo es un príncipe y viceversa by José Ovejero. I think, okay, based off my understanding, I could be completely wrong. I did a teensy bit of research. He has traveled a lot, so a lot of these stories are probably about places that he's been to, which is kind of funny because he has one about Oklahoma, which is a state that's like right next to Arkansas, which I thought was really funny. So he has a short story about the Cherokee and about what they believe, or at least what they used to believe, with like the rain and why it's dry where they are. So that was really interesting. It was fun to read about. But José Ovejero, he is actually a Spanish author born and I think raised in Madrid, which is where I am currently for my study abroad. But most of his life he spent living abroad. Yeah, he writes a lot of different genres, including poetry, drama, essays, and short stories and novels. So he has like a wider range of everything, and he's almost, just kidding, he won the 2013 prize of Alfaguara for another novel of his called La invencción del amor, the invention of love. But this is just a series of his short story collection, and yeah, for the most part he does talk about like a lot of lessons that are kind of like right from wrong. They're kind of like, I think they're more for like, they're not for children, but they're like kind of there to like kind of nudge at you for these kinds of certain things. I didn't get a lot of the understanding because I'm just a girl. I'm kidding. Spanish, although I speak it pretty decently, I don't really understand and comprehend the reading as well, so that's what I'm working on. And for the most part, I could understand the big pictures, but like there's a lot of like allegories and a lot of like, I'm not foreshadowing, but you know what I mean, like a lot of metaphors I just don't really understand from this book. But aside from that, I actually did enjoy it, especially the one about the Cherokee. I thought that was so funny. It took me a couple days to read because I would take the pain medicine, I would sit down and read, and it would knock me out. Like, I would be asleep, but that's fine. So that's really interesting about José Ovejero. He's currently 66, he's still alive. And then next I started reading El saludo de las brujas by Emilia Pardo Bazán. On one of my walks, because I need to walk to, you know, help me digest my food because I can't sit in bed all day. But I went out and I sat down and I tried reading this outside, and I read for like 30-40 minutes ish, but I couldn't tell you a single thing. I couldn't tell you what it was about So I think this is a little too complex for me, and I didn't understand it, so I'm probably gonna have to pick out another book to read. I just wanted to read it because of the witches, and I thought, well, I can just try reading a chapter. So that's what I did, and honestly, it just didn't go well for me. So I'm not gonna continue with this book, unfortunately. But I'm glad I did give it a shot, because how would I have not known? Or how would I have known that this is above my level without trying? You know what I mean? So we read a lot of works, and a lot of my Spanish classes, Spanish literature, specifically for Spain, she comes up a lot. So I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? She's written a lot of works too. And then finally, I wanted to give a little shout out to Mariella, pretentious sunshine. That's such a funny, that's so real. She suggested I do like a video like this, where I read books in Spain, and honestly, it didn't go as planned, but, and I had the idea already in my head, I just hadn't done it yet, but, she commented on my last video and said that, oh, you should do, like, you reading it around in Spain. I was like, I totally had that planned, and then I did have it planned, and the execution just did not execute super well, so, I just wanted to say, thanks, Mariella. That was super cool. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, yeah, there's not really much for me to say, but that's what happened. That's what's up. I haven't really done much besides that. I started reading a couple other things, but I've just been chilling here, scrapbooking and bordado, how do you say it in English? Embroidery. So my other couple hobbies while I just do nothing in bed and recover. Thanks for staying around and sticking around. This was more of like a reading based instead of chatting it up, but thanks for staying. Bye.